Hi guys, part 2. Let's get straight in. So I'm going to do this lily pad the same as the colours we used for the last one. This is a sap green, the triplus. And then willow green. I'm going to talk a bit less and hopefully it'll be a bit quicker. Didn't realise how long it took yesterday. I was trying to explain the process and also trying to find the swatches with the colours on, which I'm not doing this time. So hopefully the fact that if you've watched the first one, you'll have picked up the similar colours anyway, but also having the photo at the start means you've got all the colours to hand if you're following along. So this is now the lime green, number 53 I'm using. Trying to blend that out a bit. I think I might have used the darker green, looks a bit darker than before. I might have used a different green. That's okay. And then with this lime green, because I want it to blend a bit better, I'm going over twice just to get a bit darker. Yeah, so this time it's more just the colouring. If you don't like the talking, play some music. And I will actually, maybe even on part 3, do try it because I'm still experimenting with all this YouTube stuff. So on part 3, I might even, I'm just using the turquoise in the triplus now. Part 3, I might even do no talking, do it to music, and then I can actually speed it up. Look like I'm speed colouring. You will hear my dogs coming in and out. I do apologise. Oh, there's one of them there. We have wooden floors, so you hear the tippy-tappy toenails on the floors. Okay, now what we did, if you remember with the one, we got the turquoise in the 0.88. And we went from the darker colour where all the lines join up. I'm just colouring into the centre there. And then going up from each line. Oh. It's incredibly awkward colouring at the desk. And then we'll get the turquoise in the triplus. And blend that out. leaving the lines a little bit uneven at the top. Remember, we're going to do some dots and then do the neon. It's the neon yellow. Now this, I'm actually doing straight lines on this one rather than circles because I don't need it to blend as such. Just go around there a bit. Hopefully I've zoomed in a bit closer this time as well, so you can see a bit more. Right, so now I'm just going to do a few dots. So when I go over in the neon yellow, that blends through. There we go, then we go with the neon yellow. And remember, you go from the outside in because we don't want to use too much of the neon yellow over the turquoise because you get that. I mean, it's a nice effect, that kind of green, but we're not looking to turn the turquoise green, particularly in this instance. Just a few yellow dots just to blend it. What's the matter, baby? What's the matter? What's the matter? Come here. Jump up here. Do you want to jump up? Jump up. That's it. Good girl. Sorry about that. Maybe if I shut the door when I'm trying to do this to keep the dogs out, they would be scratching the door trying to get in. So that wouldn't work either. She just wanted to jump up onto the bed. It's in the bedroom. I was asking permission. I'm getting a bit frustrated. I wasn't paying her any attention. Yeah, there we go. Nearly done on that one. It is actually quite nice, that bright green when the yellow goes with the turquoise, but don't want too much of it. Okay, and then there we go. The last thing we're going to do, and I'm going to do it as we go along this time, is just do a few of the silver dots. You'll see that more clearly when I move it at the end. Oh, there we go, done. Now I'm looking at that, and the only thing I would say about that is that some of these, I'm just going to do a few dots here because it's a little bit too, it's two different colours rather than blended, so just do a few dots. There we go, that's that one done. Right then, so now we're going to go, there's another lily pad here, but it's slightly different, so let's try something different on this one because we can. So we can I'm just going to colour this in while I'm talking. So I'm going to do, it's obviously green, it's the lily pad. I might do a bit of a salmony pink or something. I want to use a salmony pink. Right, so the outside though, I do apologise, I didn't use sap green there, I used number 5, which is just the green. Right, 52. And do it on the outside. This is the green I should have done for the other one. Oh well. This is sap green. So I'm going to do very similar to what I should have done in that one there. sap green, just outline it. There we go. Nice and simple. A bit darker at the edge there because there'll be a bit of shadow. I'm going to take the blue green. That's always the simplest and most effective use of just to get immediate effect. Two shades that are quite close so they blend quite well. Outline the dark and then lighter in the centre. Bit more colour there. There we go. Right then. So I think with this one I'm going to just again with the sap green have these bits green. Oh, missed a bit there, look. And then willow green. It's nice and simple. Right then, with this one, let's try. I want to use the salmony colours that I have. So this is the 26. And do it with this is the light pink in the triplus, so number 21. Very, very lightly apply because I just want it to be, so go over it a couple of times as you're blending into that colour at the bottom, but then when you get to the top, I just want one layer, so very, very light. I'm hardly touching the paper. I want that kind of whiteness to show through. There we go, there's a couple of pinks, and what will go with pink, maybe a nice yellow. So a couple of light yellows. So I'm using number 1 on the triplus. I'm going to go to the edge. Then I've just got number 110, no sorry, number 10, which is the light yellow. Circular now, it's quite a similar colour, just softening it. So little circles because I'm now blending rather than just putting the first colour down. And then I'm going to dot. And then I'm going to actually bring out, if you haven't got this, don't worry, just do a few more dots and you can actually just leave it white. This is the Pitt Ivory 103, a Pitt pen. I'm just very, very lightly, and I'll just go over that white. There we go. Now the pink in that's quite strong, so I'm going to take my light pink now. Making this up as I go along. 22, which is 21, which is what I tend to do, and I'm just gonna actually just make, now because I've already got a pen down, this is gonna bleed slightly, but I actually want it to do that because I want the dots to be a bit bigger. So because I'm dotting a darker colour on top of a lighter colour that I've already applied, fine liner, yep, you're going to get that bleed, but that's okay. Very lightly going over, that's better. See how that kind of just blends in a bit better now? The colours match slightly better. Just do a few more dots there. And the dots become a bit pinker as it goes out. Perfect, right, that's that one. One done. Right, shall we do these flowers here? Now I've got orange and pink below, if you remember. So let's maybe do a red or a reddy orange, deep reddy orange kind of colour. So we'll do maybe a deep red one here. Deep red orange. So I'm going with it's actually called a purple, number 19. It's more like a deep red velvet. There we go, and I'm actually going to take the lines there. Holding the paper down because the paper was moving then, as I was moving. And I decided on the spur that we're going to do the outline here and definitely do some dots. It's just screaming out, give me some dots. So I'm doing very small circles because I want these to be smooth. Look, we've got some bigger bubbles there. Oh, I've just knocked the camera, apologies. At the end of my pen, so this camera's actually really close. No, that's there, isn't it? There we go. Right, now I'm going to use number 2, which is the red in the triplus, to come out to the petal, both ends. Trying to keep my hand out of the way as well. It's actually quite hard. I'm just going to spot that a little bit. What I'm doing is just trying to soften the edges a little bit. I'm just going to go over in that in orange. Right, so that's that one there. And then what I'm going to do is, do I want that on the ends going in or out? I'm going to go on the ends. I'm going to do something a bit different. I'll normally do the darker colour going from the centre, but let's do the tips red on the bigger petals. Why not? So I'm still sort of making this up as I go along. I'm going to pick the colours and go, yep, I want it red. So now I'm going to use the reds and the oranges and so on. but what I'm actually going to do, I don't know till I start doing it. This is number 4. This is orange in the top triplus. So this is definitely what I want to go over here. Blend that in. Oh, the centre of that flower is screaming out for a little silver dot as well. And that's that. It's a nice effect. And then I'm going to take this orange and blend. Around the edge. Blending it into that red. The tripluses just blend together so nicely. They're definitely slightly smoother than the Stabilos 0.88 and a 0.3 nib as well, so they are a slightly smaller nib. That doesn't make too much difference though, to be honest, but the blending, they blend beautifully. Okay, that one needs a little bit more down, so I'm looking at it's about even. So we could either go yellow now or yeah, let's go yellow. So we'll go the triplus yellow I really like, the warm yellow number 44. And I'm actually going over that red line as well. I'm just making sure that blends in with the orange. You can actually feel it when you're colouring. So I'm colouring with this one now, the Stabilo. You can see that it's a very slightly bigger nib because it's a 0.4, but it's also a firmer nib. So as you're, not that you're pressing down hard, I'm not hardly pressing down at all, but you can just feel that it's a firmer nib as you're colouring. I'd love to see how they make them, the fine liners. I'll have to YouTube it or Google it or something. There must be a video somewhere that one of the companies has done. There we go, a little fire flower. And because we're going with the apply the silver straight away. Silver dot in the middle. Actually, it should be gold. Gold would go red better. So, sorry, gold in the middle. There we go. And it's going, give me dots, give me dots. There we go. Ah, pretty. Right, it's very red. That kind of mirrors some of the colours we used in the fish, which is good. So let's maybe take the pink that we did before onto that one. So we've got some similarities there, and the pinks we used for that, it was that one, that pink. Yeah, I can't even remember the other pink. So let's use this one as well, eh? And then maybe chuck in a bit of neon. Let's use those 3. So the first one I'm using here is number 61. Going from the centre. Not going to use too much of this one. Just one line coming up on those little ones there. And I'll use this light pink on here. And I'm going to use a different colour pink, a slightly darker pink to outline these outside petals, or the petals that sort of sit on top. Oh, I haven't coloured that one, have I? Then I'm going to use the neon pink, which is 221. The ones underneath, and I'm chucking in another one. Looking at it, it's a 21, which is the light pink. It's the one we used on this flower here. And I'm just gonna make the white disappear on the top leaves there. Now, silver definitely goes with the white. Calls for a little silver bit there. A bit bigger maybe. And then those little bits can be silver as well. The ones I left white. So I could look, I could have coloured over those actually and then done the silver. Anyway. Okay, so we've got some pinks coming. So we've got another nice big flower here, which I think will mirror the yellows that we did. Do you remember when we did the yellows? So we used all the yellows. I think that we'll use these for. So we're going to use the triplus orange and the light orange, stabilo yellow, and then the light yellow. Orange number 4. Actually, scrap that. I'm just looking at that and it looks a bit sunflowerish. So I'm actually going to also throw in number 16, which is the light ochre that we used on the gold leaves, if you remember, because that just screamed brown to me. Like a sunflowery kind of thing. Although sunflower is actually much darker, isn't it? It's definitely brown though. So let's get a darker. I've got this colour here, it's 24, it's like a darky orange. Let's use that against the brown. I think this is Kalahari red, I think. I'm just going to go over with orange there. Okay, now we'll do, so you've got the brown effect there. So now we're going to do, this is just the orange, sorry that I'm using number 4. And then shall I use the light orange now? Leaving a little bit of space, not much. So just kind of blend in, leaving a little bit of space at the edge. And then also taking that lighter orange, and where those petals are sitting over the other petals, going with this darker colour, it's sort of a shadow. I'm going to fill up all of that bit. Okay, and then we're going to go with the Stabilo warm, like the yellow, for 8844. Sometimes those are upside down, apologies for that. And we're just going to do the outsides of those little petals. So you're just kind of covering up the white here, going over the black line. And with that yellow, filling that outside line, and then just on the edge, and I'm just doing on the edge because I want these big ones to actually use that lightish yellow, but I need the transition from the light orange to the light yellow to be a bit softer. So I've just gone over the very edge of the light orange. So I'm now using the number 1, which is the lighter yellow. There we go. Oh, it's a lighter yellow than the Stabilo yellow anyway. There we go. Oh, it is pretty. So there we got an orange, sunflower-ish, sunflower-esque. I don't know what you would call that. And with this one, I'm just gonna gold dot over the yellow. This will only catch, the light will catch this. It won't really stand out at the moment because the yellow isn't dark enough, but the light will catch it. And then I'm very carefully just gonna place a little gold dot, because I can, in those circles. And then again, the light will, when the light catches that, that'll look good. Okay, cool. Job done on that one. This one, I'm just going to assume that's a green leaf. Oh, I'm not sure if it is or not. Let's put a bit of green there. So I'm just going to colour that green. That's just my willow green. And I'll just go lime green in the middle. That's nice and simple. There we go for that one. Right then. Couple of bubbles. So do you remember, here's your pop quiz, do you remember the colours we used for the bubbles? All the pastels. We have the pastel green, the pastel pink, the pastel blue, and where's my light yellow? And my light yellow. There we go. I think it was those. That'll work. That'll be right. So let's just do the bubbles. So on a quarter we do a bit of green, bit of green, bit of green, bit of green. Then we get the yellow and we go over that green a little bit and then just take it round. That quarter. Then we get the pink over the yellow a little bit, just take it round. And then the blue to finish it off in the last quarter. So basically you're just doing lines on the edge of the bubble in the 4 colours. There we go. Okay, so there's the little bubbles there. So I'm just going to fill in the background now, because now we've done it once. We can, so using the 34, I think I used the 34. Yeah, it must have been. Or was it the more aqua one? I don't know without looking at the video. And because I don't write things down. Oh well. Looks a bit, oh, maybe, did I use this one? Did I use 301 guys or 34? Let's try the 301 and see if that looks more like the colour. I think it's that one, eh? Okay, so I'll put 34 away. Don't use 34, use 301 because I think that was the colour, because that looked a bit blue. So outlining the edge. Oh, even this one looks a little blue, but hey. Oh, well. Now we did the dots, so we've outlined it all. We did the dots near the edge of the line, going out slightly. Do your circular motions for the randomness. And then we get the Tombow. And just go over it very lightly. You only want one cover of the Tombow. If you remember from, if you've seen the other tutorials, Tombows are great, but if they will build up colour pretty quickly if you do different coloured layers. Okay, so let's just do this bit over here. Over here. Okay. Job done. Alright then. So I'm just going to move that over slightly. I'm going to do this big one here. And I think because we've got the orange over here, let's go for a nice bit of pink. So let's grab our pinks. I quite like some of the pinks we're using there, definitely the neon. So we'll have a bit of a dark, we'll have the neon, go for the medium, and we'll throw in that one as well, the Stabilo. So I've got a Stabilo 56, 17, and then number 61 and number 221. Okay, so we did the purples here and took this colour around the edge, so I'm actually going to pick up on that and do that around the edge of this flower. A bit of similarity, but this is going to be very pink, just pinks on this one. Oh, oops, a daisy. That'll be alright, we'll blend that out. Okay, so yep, let's go with a nice dark pink centre. Right then, let's go for our next darker pink. I'm just scribbling these pinks on a bit of card that I have out of camera view, just to get my next, just to work out which was the next darkest, which is this one. Okay, this one. Yeah, let's colour it all. Wasn't sure if I was going to do those, but why not? They're calling out for silver dots, so I'll be dotting those. Okay, let's go, and these ones. Whoa, whoa, Becky. Nuts there. Just going over the black lines. Oh, look, I've missed a bit there. With some illustrations and stuff. Not so much Johanna. Johanna's pretty good, but some of the others, say Kirby or someone, sometimes you can't actually make out. Look, that's the only leaf there that hasn't got a line. I'm going to put one in. Sometimes it can take a while to work out. using a lighter pink now, number, oh man, 17. It can take a while to work out what the picture is, or what a certain part of the picture is, or if you're colouring, say there's lots of leaves or something, where the leaves end and where something else starts. And sometimes it's not until you're actually colouring it that you work it out or see the kind of picture emerge. Kirby's is one of them. There's a one that's like a face in some leaves, like a leaf man. I don't know what you'd call it actually. Claire Holloway did a really good tutorial on it, or did a good picture on it. I think she did a tutorial. But check out her YouTube if you haven't already, but I'm sure you have. Claire Holloway colouring. She does some amazing, she's really good with Prismacolors, and also gold metallic paints and things. So yeah, I think she's got a good tutorial on that one. Right, I'm just using this other pink, and I'm doing, because I liked how it looked on the red flower we did, I'm doing the darker colour on the outside, which also goes with the darker pink that I did on the outside, just like I did with the reds and the oranges and that other one. So on the same principle, just different colours. Now I'm going to go with the lightest colour pink that I've got. This is the neon pink, and I'm just going to fill that in. It's actually quite close to that colour pink, isn't it? Not much variation there at all. And then, is that enough variation? So with this neon pink then, I don't think there's that much variation. No, there isn't. So I'm just going to soften the edge a little bit, because it is a little bit lighter. And then I'm actually probably going to use the light pink, you know, the one we used over there on the lily pad, that one. Because this neon, it's just not enough of a different pink for it to show big enough variance. I'm just going around the edge, and it's more to soften that. So then I'm going to get the 21 light pink, and just like we did there, softest touch, because I want it to be as light as possible. And I'm going over the edge of it, but not too many times. This colour pink, if you go over it too many times, it does change. It goes quite dark quite quickly. Alright, now see, I've picked up a bit of whatever on there, paper. So always have a bit of paper to the side of your colouring, so you can wipe the nib before you start again. Otherwise it can smudge. Right, so I'm looking at that now thinking, okay, am I happy, or does it need dots? I'm going to just do a few dots on the edge, because there's bits of that aren't, it's not blended enough. It's a bit too, the colour contrast is too much. I'm just dotting it just to smooth the colour contrast out. There we go, that's a bit better. Okay, and what we're going to do now, we're going to apply silver dots, Becky. Yes, we are. No, you don't say. Am I going to dot something? But just look, it just makes it look so much better with the silver dots on there. There we go. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Maybe I shouldn't do audio when I'm doing this. You realise I'm slightly mad. Oh, 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 oh. Concentrate, concentrate. Done. Oh, look, it's so pretty, pretty. Right, so now we're onto some lily pads, and I've got a couple of swap for some greens. Let's swap it around. So let's go back to my sap green, my willow green, and my light green. And oh no, because this one is more like the lines. So yes, this is where we do use that darker colour green that I had before and used it incorrectly here instead of sap green. So let's get the darker colour green. And let's, so this is, sorry, darker colour green. We're looking at number 5, which is just green, I think that one's called. So I'm going to go down the lines. Oh, that wasn't very careful. And around at the outside, around the outside. There we go. Okay, so it's quite dark. Sap green now to do some lines, some of the individual sections. And now we'll go willow green. Lines in the other sections, which will have a couple solid colour. Solid colour there, and I think a solid colour there. And then I think we got the lighter one, so the 53, and just lightly went over, so you can still see the lines, but they're not white. And I am going to colour in round in green, but remember we're going to go over this with gold eventually. But just in case the gold pen doesn't cover it all up, you always still do it in, well, I always still do it in a colour. There we go. Okay, so we've got a stripy one like we did the stripy one before. We've got a stripy one over here, so I'm going to pull that over a bit. So we've got another stripy one here, which I'm going to do exactly the same colours. Yep. Maybe be a bit more careful this time, eh? There we go. I'll keep it in the camera. Sorry for getting wobbles. Keep it in you. I've not given you a headache. Oh, this is so awkward. Leave that there. Yeah, sap green. This is a darker one. And a willow green. Let's do the full on colour block. And then this is the lime green, the very, very light one. It's almost turned that one minty when it goes with that, doesn't it? On a mint colour. Okay, there's another stripy one, and we're going to go green base on that one. Be careful, let's go near the yellow because green will overshadow yellow. Okay, we'll go over in gold with that in a sec. So I'm just going to move this down slightly. Right then, so we've got these here, a red here, pink here. So what colour should we do these? Maybe a little lilac one. We got one of those little circles like we did before, which was orange and yellow. So let's just stick with the orange theme on that. A little bit bigger than the ones. Remember the little two circles we did towards the end of, and I've got another one here, so I'm just going to do these. Here. So that was the orange, number 4, and we'll go light orange. So I want these to be quite blended, number 43. So we're just gonna slowly take that out. And then we're going to do the number 110, which is the warm yellow, is it? And we'll take that to the edge. Not sure what these are, like little, well, I suppose there could have been mini lily pads or something. Probably should have been green, but it's enough green. It's enough green in there. Who said it had to be green? Alright, perfect. So this one, let's maybe do a nice little lilac. Because we've got this flower here then, which could maybe have 2 little purple flowers. So with our lilacs, we know there's that beautiful lavender, number 62 in triplus, and then we also have, I've not got it out yet. No, I've got it out. The lighter purple, number 59 in the what's it? So that's that combination we did for the little love heart ones before. I'm actually going to do this flower first, I think. No, let's do this one. Let's do this one first. Oh look, it's got some way for me to do some silver dots. Can never have enough dots. Never have enough dots. And on this one, I'm just going to keep it really simple actually. Go over the lines and then just colour in the lavender. Could actually go over the lines properly. Do that one a bit thicker because I've done the others a bit thicker. Now I've got my lavender. Very nice and simple. And then what do I do on that one? I'm just going to get the neon pink. We have a neon purple, we have a neon pink. Maybe that didn't work, but hey, that's okay. We'll make it work. I have to make it all pink now. I thought that might go a bit better. That's okay. Silver pen, silver pen. Silver pen makes everything work. There we go, see? Go like that, that'll. There we go, we got a nice little silver burst there. Okay, so now we're going to do this one. And let's do that. This one in, well, I've done that purples. We can do this purples, but how about we add a bit of blue in? So maybe this blue, number 34, which is a nice blue. And we'll use the lavender as well, and the purple. So the combo we've just used, but let's add a little blue and see if we can get it to blend, or maybe even the Tombow blue. So again, let's go purple there, but I'm not going to make the same mistake and do the centre purple. We'll keep that traditional yellow maybe. And let's do these leaves purple. Nice pretty shape these are. And then let's maybe do the ends. Just trying to give it a little bit of depth. We would have done these on one of the tutorials. I'm now going to get my lavender. And just blend that over. I'm going all over with the lavender. It's quite a light one. It's a bit like the light pink though. You don't want to go over the lavender part the same too many times because it does get darker quite quickly, which I kind of want with the blend, but not too much. Okay, and now let's go with a blue. Oh, is this going to work? I don't know. Have you ever heard of blue and yellow, blue and purple flowers? They're flowers, you can go any colour. I actually want a much lighter blue there now. So I'm going to go with the Tombow that we're using for the background. And that's kind of the lightness I want. I don't think I have, oh, I have ice blue, don't I, in Stabilo. Sorry, you could have used ice blue instead of this one if you haven't got the Tombow. There we go, and to go around that, I think I'm going to use the lavender colour. And just a little bit softer to go with that blue. Not sure if I like that or not. That's okay. Some ones you'll try. It's all about experimenting. Some combinations you'll try. I mean, it's probably better to try it off the page first. I probably should have done that, but I'm mindful of time. So I didn't do that. I'm going to use the very, very lightest yellow I have for that centre. You don't want the kind of darker yellow. Oh, that might be a bit too yellow. So let's lavender it down. So I've now got the lavender. There we go, that's better. and attack it with the gel pen. Pop more dots. You can never have enough dots. Hey, right. Oh, while I'm here, screaming out for a little bit of silver there. There we go. Okay, so we have that. So let's pull it down a little bit. So hopefully I'm in the right spot. So now we're going to do the one more lily pad. These we're going to do the dots on this one though, because we've done a couple of stripes now. So let's go back to the dots that we did at the very start. So just using my, I'm going to use my these three colours because I want the blend to be quite nice. And then we might do a bit of a background. So the darkest colour, which is the sap green. I'm just basically going to go over all the lines. Oops. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is, because the centre's quite dark, remember we did dots, so, and we're going to do dots all the way through. Maybe leave a couple of them lighter to get some colour variation. Maybe leave those. I'm not sure if we did that last time, but I'm going to do it this time. Okay, now I'm going to swap to my willow green. And carry on the dots on this one. So over the darker areas, just do a bit of colouring and pull out the dots. I'm hoping this time that this is a bit closer so you can see it a bit clearer, hopefully. And then these ones, yeah, I'm going to keep them light, but I'm just doing a few of the willow green dots on the bottom. Then I'm going to get the light green, this one, lime green, is it? And I'm going to do dots along here and leave some of the white. And that one I might block colour just to give it a bit different. Yeah, shall I block colour the other ones or dot? I think I might block colour them. So these ones here, although they've got the willow green, I'm just very, very lightly with the lime green going to block colour. So you've got the willow green dots on there, and I'm very lightly going over. I need a bit more. black colour in that. So you've got some of those. I'll make that one black colour there, different. And then the other thing we did is, because you've gone with that dark sap green there, I'm just gonna go with the willow green over it a little bit just to soften it. So I'm doing just small circles. I'm going over that darker green. I'm doing circles so you don't get just another line. Just trying to smooth, like soften it out. Soften it's probably the best way of describing that. Yeah, there we go, that's a bit better. Let's just do a few dots. I think that'll do. Right then, around the edge, let's go. What I'm going to do with this one, I think, is I'm going to go for the darker colour. This we didn't cover up in gold. Should undo all the lily pads with gold. So this one we're going to keep whatever I do. I'm being a bit more careful. Oh, be a bit careful, then I'll do that. Oh. It's okay. Nothing in nature is perfectly symmetrical or perfectly aligned, so nothing in art needs to be either. So I've gone with that one. I'm going to get the willow green. That was the sap green, and I'm going to try and go around over that. Not to the edge though, because I'm actually going to use the lighter green as well, lime green. Oh, that's where I made the boo-boo. That's all right, that's all good. All goods, as my 14-year-old would say. Right, and then, so that last bit now, with the lime green, and that'll just make a smoother blend. And then all the perfect lines that weren't perfectly straight don't matter, because they should just all blend out. If they're all perfect lines, then it would look too uniform. Yeah, there we go. There's one of our colour leaves. Right, let's do some of the little we can do some of the little bubbles and some of the little flowers. A couple of more pinks, I think, because we've got no dark pinks around there. So when I'm looking at a page like this, I'm always using certain colours, and then I'm looking for variation, you know, so you're spreading the colours out. I love bright colours. I'm not going to go through the pinks again, they're the normal pinks that we've been using for the other flowers. I'll use a little bit of dark on one of them. I'm going to do all of them at the same time. So this one, because it looks so dark, I'll do the lines on that one. This one, oh, it's just crying out for those little rings to be dark. I think that might be all I do on that one. And with this one, oh, same thing. But I might actually do the centre bit as well. A few dots there. Okay. Let's pull that in. So that's the really dark pink. Then we'll go the Stabilo pink, number 56. Actually, that one I'm just going to do neon. Let's do this one. Not doing a very good job on this one. There we go. And on this one, oh yeah, we'll use just just do it at the edge on this one. Go to a very light colour. When you start practicing and you start doing, well, you'll have noticed in this Colouralong anyway, it's the same kind of techniques, just picking your colours. And so as you start to do it and do them more, that's when you'll start to think, okay, I know what to do here. Let's try and do it in purples, or you know what I mean. You'll pick you'll find your own groove, find your own style. You'll have preferences on the colours that you like or don't like. I'm not actually a big pink person. I do love my reds and oranges. So yeah, you'll just find what you like. And come up with new combos. And I'm always open to new combos. So if you find any new combos, let me know. DM me. That's what the cool kids say, innit? No, just send me a message on Instagram or via Facebook on I set up a Colour Bright Bex Facebook page. You can always message me via that, or Instagram, or YouTube, however you want to do it. You can get hold of me. Okay, so then we've got 3 little pink flowers that are just going dot me, dot me. So this one, I'm going to do that, and then I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, this one just calls for the circle around edge, as does this one. I can't even really make out the. There we go. I might just leave for that one. Okay, so we've got 3 little pinks. Now we've got all the bubbles to do. So let's do the bubbles. So what's the combination for the bubbles? We have the pastels. So we have the pink, the green, and the blue. Triplus. So number 21. Oh no, start with the green first, don't we? Now, this is a bigger bubble here, so this is going to be a bigger challenge. So it's quite a few, so I might as well do all the bubbles while I'm here. So green. These are first green. And yellow. I can't see the yellow there. I see the yellow a little bit there. Pink, you can only see a little bit of the pink in that one there. And then the blue. Touch the blue, you can't really see the bit of the blue on there. Okay. I'll try ice blue on that, it might work out better. It's a bit lighter. I'm just going to try the ice blue on that because it's lighter. So what number is that? Number 11. Okay, so let's do these ones here. So green, bottom quarter, bottom left quarter. Do this big one here as well. Yellow. So I'm going slightly over the green and taking it up, so it's kind of a little bit more than a quarter because you want a little bit of the overlap of the colours. for them to kind of mix. And go up a little bit more than a quarter. There we got the pink. Oh, I'm not going to see much there. Very lightly there and there. Not going to see much on that one. Again, you overlap on the yellow where it kind of almost goes a little bit orange. Not see much of the pink on that one. A little bit more on this one. And then let's try this ice blue. Might be just a little bit lighter than that one. Might work a bit better. Yeah, that is a bit better. So you see where the blue hits the green, it goes a bit like turquoisey. Where it hits the pink, slightly purple. You get all the colour effects. Right, okay. Now with the like when it's the small bubbles, you don't need to do too much else, but with these bigger ones, it's obviously you got a bit of white space. So I'm actually going to do a few blue and green dots, not the other colours, just blue and green. And I've got the green there. Okay, that'll do for now. We can do a bit of the background around here now, before we venture into these bits. I think what I'm actually going to do is do that lily pad, that flower, and just the start of these at the top, and then that'll be yeah, the end of part 2, I think. So actually what we should probably do, when I get really fancy and I work out how to, oh there's more balls there, when I work out how to, in fact let's do that. So let's now do this flower. I won't even do the lily pad because we've done a few of them, so let's do this flower. These are literally, I'm just going to do individual colours, and I'm probably going to go reds and oranges because we've got like purples. This flower I think I'm going to do another pink, so I'm going to follow the same colours as that one and do another pink. So reds and oranges would work well. Do that green, so let's do that flower, and then I'll do the background and so on, but you don't need to see that, do you? Because you've done so much background now, you know what I'm going to do. So yeah, let's do this one pink, just like we did the other one, and then do those lines, and that will be it. And I can finish off the background and stuff, and we'll move it on to part 2. So let's just do that flower, pink, the pinks that we were using. So the 4 pinks. So we're going to do the darker pink first. There we go. And then we're gonna go for the next darker pink, which is the Stabilo one, number 56. And we can this one quite simple, if you remember. Took it to the top, I think. I'll just outline. Oh, a bit nuts there. And then I'll go for the end bit there. I haven't done the purple on the outline yet, have I? We'll do that. Okay. Go around with the darker colour. Can you hear my dog snoring in the background? I don't know if it's picking it up again. Colouring to the sound of snoring, it's lovely. Oh, that's looking quite purple. So now we're going to go with the nice bright pink. This is definitely a little bit more purple than the other one, but that's okay, because they're all different. So this flower's got a bigger centerpiece here. So the purple is more prominent. There we go, in there. And then what we're going to do this time is just do the lighter pink on the ends. And if you remember, we do the sorry, this is the neon pink I'm using right now. And then we'll do the light pink over it, but only once, because it builds up. Well, that light pink can build up. Loving my neons at the moment. And that in the centre. And then we're going to get the light pink, number 21. And we're just going to go over once. And then it's going Becky, dot me. So I'm going to dot. Sometimes it doesn't come out very well, so you have to kind of give it do a little swirly thing on your scrap paper that you got next to you, just to get the ink flowing. Once it's flowing again, when you're dotting, it should be fine. Depends on the gel pen. Hey, there we go. Oh, don't forget the dots going round. I'm trying to get them in the little circles. It's actually quite hard to see. There we go. Yeah, that'll do. That's it. So I'm going to call that a day now. I'm going to stop it. So I'm going to colour just like we have in the other part, I'm going to colour this one with the dots. And then these lines, I'm just going to pick random reds, oranges, and just do them as lines going out. Nothing special. You'll see in the next one. And then do the background, just like I did in the other one. So with dots and then going out. And I'll take a photo of this finished for part 2 section, so you can screenshot it and have a look at that for the bits that aren't actually covered. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'll just move it in the light. Can you see all the beautiful little sparklies? I'll also do the gold outline on the lily pads with the lines. There we go. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you again soon for part 3.